Coach, what changed in that third period?
I'm hoping that we had a little desperation or a little quicker to the puck. I'm hoping that they didn't feel that the game was over. I think we'll find out tomorrow, but I am, proud that we were able to come back on a very, very tough team. Obviously, they're excellent. So what changed? Like I say, I think from our standpoint, I do think we just started to get our legs a little bit and just go for it a little more rather than trying to be, I don't know if we're trying to be conservative, but it just seems like we were a little bit slow at the start, and I don't know the reason for it, but we certainly played a quicker game in the third.
Curtis Loic status?
Don't know yet. Find out. He's actually find out tomorrow morning, not today.
When you guys obviously had the 2-week break, do you think that maybe factored in the fact you guys came out slow, or do you think it was?
I don't think so, because they had a 2-week break too, and I really
Right.
liked how we practiced. So I don't think so. Quite honestly, I think you have to give them some of the credit for making us look like we were kind of slow. I mean, I think we're really well prepared. I think we knew what we wanted to do, and they're pretty darn good. So give them some of the credit. I don't think it was a lack of preparation or rust. I really felt we were ready to go. And all in all, I thought we played a very, very good game. So obviously we have to do better to beat a team like this, but I'm not disappointed in the overall effort.
It didn't happen right away in the third period, but what was the message in the locker room going before that third period? What was the tone, and what was the message you tried to send?
The message, it wasn't a change in message. It wasn't. It was, I think more of a belief that what we set out to do, we actually could get done. I believe in the second period we had 13. Someone had 12. We had 13 shots on net. So I think there was a little bit of confidence that, hey, maybe we can start to get some offense, and we had to go to the net. We had to get bodies to the net. I thought we did that better in the third, for sure. It wasn't a change in message. It was just a belief that we could actually accomplish what we set out to do.
How much did that goal at the end of the second period on the power play, how did that change it as far as it being so late and then you get that cool-off period and then come back out having to score 2 more?
It was obviously, I mean, it's when you look at climbing a hill, 2 is a lot easier than 3. So it was. I think that was our first goal in that end. Is that right? I can't remember scoring in that end. So I think it was the first goal in that end. But obviously it was big. I mean, it gave us a little bit of life and made the hill look a lot smaller.
Coach, what can you say about the way Scoff plays tonight? He had that sequence where he lost his stick and was making some incredible saves. What can you say about his performance?
Scoffer played well. He played very well. I'd like to look at the goals again. I'm sure he's gonna look at the goals, and we will too. But he played well. He obviously, I think he stopped. He did get a piece of the breakaway early, and he looked pretty focused to me. He played well.
Coach, this is the second game where you guys have kind of had a furious comeback, but unable to close the door. Yeah. What are you guys missing to close that off, and what do you need?
Experience. I mean, it's not just a thing that can happen. I think you have to learn how to win games like that. I think it's a good start that we can get there, but it's a fine line in those types of games, having success and closing it out. It's a fine line. It takes some work, and it takes excuse me, it takes some experience. So it's not like it's just a matter. This is our second year. I mean, we have a lot of growing to do, and these games help though.
On the goal that they scored there to go up 4-3, was that more of an assignment thing? Or?
No, I want to look at it. I mean, I thought we were safe. I know the puck was in our end. I thought we were looking safe, and actually when it squirted out, I thought David Glenn would be able to reach it, and actually the guy that got it was on his onside, so he was a right-hand shot with the puck coming from his left. It's very hard. I would have been very, very worried if he was a left-hand shot, so I still didn't feel too bad about it, but boy, you got to give him some credit. Having the puck come across you and being able to one-time the puck on his onside and put it where he put it, I mean, that was a big-time shot, but it was in a corner actually from the bench. So to tell you what happened before that, I'm going to have to watch the tape.
Coach, Scoff had a big save on a guy who was left open in front early in the third period, and then after that, you guys spent a shift down in their end, and then Patrick Cowdice scored, and then there's Kenny Book scored. Did you see that save? Did you notice it as a spark, sort of? It seemed to turn the tide.
I don't remember it. I don't remember the specific save. I do remember him making a couple big ones, but I'm not sure exactly the ones.
Do you think the team feeds off that?
I think they always do. Whenever, and it can be that. It can often be a big save. It can be a big block. That's not the only thing. So it very well could have been that save. I think a little bit of belief coming back. I thought that was a huge goal by Dice. You know, I thought that really gave us some belief, and I thought he played an excellent game as well.
Do you think the energy in the building went up after the spectacular saves that Scoff had when he was diving across the goal without a stick?
I remember, you know, it's different without the student section a little bit, but I remember looking up a little later and really being impressed with the crowd and how full that section was. Obviously not with 100% students, obviously, but it was full, so I was very impressed. I felt the bench energy, so I don't know if I can't really speak to the building energy, but I do feel the bench, that as, you know, he bailed us a little bit, and as we got a little bit of momentum, the bench certainly seemed to change in energy.
Thoughts on no one picking up his stick for a good while?
I'm sorry?
Thoughts on no one picking up his stick during that sequence there for a good while?
Well, the thing is, I'm not going to blame, I mean...
It's odd, usually like when goalie loses his stick, it's one of those things in hockey where someone sprints to get it to him.
It usually does happen. I'll look at the sequence to see why not, but I'm not going to comment on that right now.
Coach, you had a couple vibrant words with the coaches during the second intermission. What was that about? Or to me, with the refs, what was that about? It's about, right now, it's philosophy. I mean, I'd rather not really say. We do have the director of officials here from the Big Ten, who's in Penn State right now, in State College right now, and he'll have an opportunity to speak with the team. It's just no secret. I just think that no, I don't want to say. If that's all right.
Was that by request that he came, or is that just sort of a rotation?
He extended an invitation if we wanted to accept it, and we did.
How important was the play of the line of Shy goals from the summer? They seem to be really clicking, and then that goal at the end of Shy, they seem to be moving the puck really well.
Yeah.
How important was that in the comeback?
I think, you know, Shy obviously had a big part in it.
He was actually doubling because he was playing with Goodwin and Friedman for much of that. He was double shifting. He's good at conserving his energy. He didn't look really tired, and he was able to handle it pretty well. But obviously, he got his form with a huge goal. You know, he's an offensive guy who was able to generate some offense. I do want to point out that part of this was, I think David Glenn has to get a ton of credit for this, because if you saw that, you know, the tying goal was scored. It was him who started the play. He fought really hard, watched him, and then changed early. And that's what David Glenn does. He plays for the team. A lot of guys, I think, especially guys that have such offensive ability, can stay in the offensive zone a little long and hope for a puck to get it, you know, into the goal and assist. And I really love to see what he did there. He changed when he should instead of when he was tired, and that's something I think, you know, Tommy Olczyk does it very well. I think it's something that I would like to see a lot more of.
Bite your group that you have, but there's sort of a lack of offensive game breakers, and you guys have to play a plodding, get to the net, work hard kind of goals. Doesn't that get tiring? I mean, isn't that taking a toll on the whole team and on the goaltender, and knowing I got to be so perfect, I can't give up something, you know?
Yeah, we didn't expect that. I mean, I think it's going to take a little while for guys like
David Goodwin. We don't feel that way about David Goodwin. We don't feel that way about Roger Richard. Obviously, we don't feel that way about Glenn, Bailey, Holcomb, Gardner. You know, so we don't feel that way, but it has, you know, hockey is, you know, you play very, very good teams, and there's not a lot of room. And when you look up high, it seems like there's room up there, and it seems like there's time to do things. You come down to the ice level, and you see how fast things happen and how little room there is. So it does feel like that. Like, it's a good observation, because we need the coaching stuff. You know, we're talking about that. Is it just a synergy line? What is it? But I still, you can't say that. I think it's a little early to say that we don't have offensive power. I still believe we do. But you don't see a lot of Gretzky, Curry, back copy of Messi on the back door anymore in hockey. So goals are scored a little bit differently.
What do you have to do? Get back in the room on the mound?
Yeah, I asked that of our staff 15 minutes ago. We definitely have to bring the energy that we had in the quickness. I think that, although I'm not picking on one penalty at all, we had 3 power plays and 6 penalties on 2. So we have to play better.
I don't think it's necessarily one thing, we have to play better, and I mean, it's a good point though about the plotting, like, you can play that way, or you can, you know, get a little synergy and a little flow, and we would like to see that, but you also have to credit some of our opponent for not being able to do that.
Are you playing Scott tomorrow night?
No. And he played well, okay? He played well, he played very well. We also thought Eamon McAdam played great in the second half of the game against UMass Lowell, and we'd like to see him get back in the net. It's been a break, so we want to get him back. You know, I don't know what, our plan was, we wanted to get Eamon back in, so I don't know what would have had to happen tonight for him not to